Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Tuesday. This is Game Day Live, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios in beautiful New Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Coming to you from the Bunker Studios, beaming in to American Whiskey, 51 Edison Place in beautiful downtown Newark, New Jersey, across the street from Prudential Center next to Championship Plaza. Seeing all the folks filing in and American Whiskey, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, as the Devils take on the Dallas Stars tonight. Flying solo tonight because Vinny Parisi, who was at the game last night at Madison Square Garden, is traveling home right now. Also will be going solo, could be, for Devils After Dark after the game. See those waving in the background at American Whiskey. We're on the big TV. Thank you to Mariah and the staff there. Just remember to tip your bartenders and tip your waitresses. They do a fine job at American Whiskey. Last night's game against the New York Rangers, it was really a disappointment. But the Devils did get a point. We're not a podcast for moral victories or whatnot. The damage was but we would expect better from the New Jersey Devils. Lindy Ruff looking to change the lineup, change the lines, shake things up. And we discussed this yesterday on Devils After Dark. Number one, some of you, the fans, were talking about last night about the referees, the officiating, being poor last night. And I think we're probably used to it by now. As hockey fans, as Devils fans specifically, you have to go back to the day before Thanksgiving when they played Toronto. I guess right now we're a little sensitive as Devils fans towards officiating. But the bottom line is the game was not lost on officiating. And there are still little things that the Devils could have done to put this game away. And I'm not going to harp on Jack Hughes, but it would have been nice if he had gotten a shot off during that penalty shot yesterday, which could have buried the Rangers' 4-1 deficit at that moment. And what came of it was, well, with the Garden crowd, a little bit of momentum, a little bit of luck on Shesterkin's part and the Rangers' offense. Guess what happened? The Rangers made it a 3-2 deficit, and then 7 seconds later, a 3-3 tie game. Steve Engel says sports is fixed. It is what it is. Steve Engel, we're not going. That's another podcast for another day. But I will say, though, folks, that it could have gone either way. I mean, we would be talking about a different result, a different observation of last night's game. But the bottom line is the Devils lost. They got the point. They couldn't finish in even in overtime. Got a little sloppy there. You let a team like the Rangers hang around. Now they're on a 4-game winning streak. And now the Devils, second half of back-to-back tonight, going against a very good Dallas Stars team. Jason Robertson in the MVP talks, Hart Trophy conversation. Nick the GOAT, thank you in the super chats of the YouTube Live, donating. I see the highlights. I see the comments. When it's highlighted, I can see it, and I point right to it. It's like, you have ADD on this podcast. You could be talking one topic, but if you want to get me to look at your comment, thank you, Nick the GOAT, for your generosity. And thank you. And for those that comment as well, I want to thank you. And also a big shout out to Dave Singer as well. We also got a little Fireboy and all those at YouTube Live. I mean, it's a community that's coming together. The Devils fans And it's last night at Stagehouse Tavern in Mountainside, New Jersey on 1099 Route 22. We had a great time with Arlette, who sang during intermission. Shorts Guy and I were doing the emceeing. Thank you, Dave Singer. Oh, my goodness. Wow, a super sticker on the YouTube Live. Boy, you guys really like to get me off my game during Game Day Live. But thank you, thank you, thank you. Love it, love it, love it. If people don't know what a super chat and super sticker is, it's, I guess it's a way to tip the hosts of Game Day Live or Devils After Dark or anything on the Let's Go Devils platform. But thank you, thank you, thank you. And Dave Singer says, thank you, Sam. We appreciate your Nard work. Cheers. I think he meant hard work, but you know what? I'm not going to criticize on your spelling because everybody criticizes on my grammar and misspellings on my hockeybuzz.com blog, but not pucksandpitchforks.com because Nick Villano, editor-in-chief of that fine site, is a great editor-in-chief. Anyway, so moving on. Jason Robertson, Christy Flannery of the Hockey Writers tweeted this out earlier today, which I thought was very interesting, that Jesper Boqvist was actually picked ahead of Jason Robertson, who is in the MVP Hart Trophy consideration. I would say conversation for now. I mean, it's too early to be talking about that, but, you know, it tells you how drafting is so important in the NHL, especially in the later rounds where you find the diamond in the rough, someone like Josh Philman, who could be somebody that could be an impact player for your New Jersey Devils. Jesper Bratt is an obvious one, late rounder, and there are a few others on the New Jersey Devils that have had an impact and picked in the later rounds as well. Steve Engel said, if I had any money left after Christmas, I triple these super chats. Steve Engel, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about the Let's Go Devils podcast and the Devils community. This podcast was really, the foundation was to promote what's right about being a Devils fan. If you've noticed all of our live events, we do not charge a cover at the door. Nor do we charge for player autographs or whatnot. We tried our best because I've been there before as a kid and even in college. You know, when you're poor, you're poor. But the comments, getting involved with the podcast, you know, some people don't have the financial means, and that's okay. You just comment. You're still part of it. And that's how we look at each Devils fan, because we need everybody. Okay, I'll shut up right now. That's what Steve Engel says. You know what, Steve Engel, if you want me to shut up and take the money while the Devils are still good, fine. But you know what? You better highlight it. Otherwise, I'm not going to listen to you. Anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, Max asked, Sam, do you think on the power play and 3-on-3, they were looking for the perfect play? Yeah, I think so. And I think they're missing Nathan Bastian in so many different ways. Now, I'm not saying Nathan Bastian is the end-all, be-all player, but he is the epitome of what the Devils need right now. They need a little beef. And because of his absence, Lindy Ruff had to really move the BMW line, or what's left of it, Z-Series BMW line, really to the third line with Alexander Holtz, Boqvist, and Sharon Govich on the fourth line. You're not really running four lines right now. And the bottom six forwards need to step up a little bit. You can't wear teams down and play this type of style if you're just primarily running three lines. I mean, some of the minutes that was played, I mean, you're playing 5 minutes and 42 seconds, Alexander Holtz. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. And you're going to wear out your star players. I mean, Jack Hughes, I mean, it's a little bit to the extreme, but 6 minutes and 2 seconds of ice time of one shift that that game against the Islanders, I mean, that's to me not a team sport. I always believe, and I've always said, that the best players on your team are the ones that are out on the ice. You're only as good as your weakest link. And the Devils' weakest link right now is that, well, folks, they're running 3 lines. And you're seeing that they just don't have enough gas to finish games right now. And Lindy Ruff alluded that to the press conference today, saying that, changes need to be made. And we'll see what the lineup is tonight. But Alexander Holtz is out tonight. And do you know who is in? According to Amanda Stein. Do you know who is in the lineup tonight? And this should be a very, very interesting Devils After Dark, considering that I am going solo. That's right. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast game update. According to Amanda Stein, Alexander Holtz is out. Andre Johnson is in for your New Jersey Devils. Coming over the wire on Twitter 7 minutes ago, Amanda Stein. Could it be from Marino to Johnson? The football calls on Devils After Dark while going solo. We shall see. You better tune in. Devils After Dark after the game, also being shown at American Whiskey, exclusively on American Whiskey. After the game, you can get a nice adult beverage. Be safe, folks. If you drink a little too much, you better get a designated driver or take the train home. Meow, meow. Anthony LaPena said, it's snowing here where I'm at, driving in Arizona in the mountains. Holy crap, it's cold. It is cold. Anthony LaPena has been freezing my butt off since Stagehouse Tavern yesterday in Mountainside. I had a great time with Arlette singing. It was definitely a good time. Definitely a great time. And, yeah, that's what I have to say. All right, so for tonight's game, Lindy Ruff is going to change it up. Second half of back-to-back. Andreas Johnson is in the game tonight. Will this shake it up? Will the line shuffling help the New Jersey Devils? But you know what? Good teams find a way to win, folks. Even through injuries. I mean, you know what? You got to credit the New Jersey Devils. I mean, well, let's put it this way. They found a way to win 13 straight after Andre Palat was out with an injury. And I will say, folks, that showed me something. That also showed me something that Jack Hughes is, like Nico Hischier, is trying to lead by example by carrying the team on his back. Also, over the wire, Star Wars night, December 17th, Devils versus Florida Panthers. I should be at American Whiskey that night, live in person for Game Day Live and Devils After Dark at 7:30 p.m. Eastern start. Also, your lineups for your New Jersey Devils. According to Amanda Stein, also there's a shuffling of the lines a little bit. On the first line, you got Nico Hischier centering with Tatar on the left wing, Bratt on the right wing. Second line, Hughes, Mercer, Holla. Third line, McLeod, Wood, Sharangovich. Fourth line, Boquist, Zetterlund, and Andre Johnson. On the fence, number 7, Dougie Hamilton's paired up with Jonas Siegenthaler, John Marino, and Ryan Graves paired up. Big Ball, Kevin Ball is paired up with Damon Severson. Starting in goal, Kira Schmid. Vanacek backing up. Doesn't surprise me. I think there was some statistic out there that Vanacek on one-day rest is or no rest, back-to-back, doesn't have very good stats. I remember reading that somewhere a while ago. So being played last night, I mean, he had a heck of a game. John Marino's paired up with Lynn Swan. I don't know that reference. Dave Singer, but John Marino from Western Pennsylvania coming via trade from the Pittsburgh Penguins, who find themselves rising in the standings. Saw that earlier today. Thought that was very interesting. Seems like the Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin era is the last gasp before the Devils just take over, hopefully, of the Metropolitan Division. Still see some folks there at American Whiskey enjoying their adult beverages. A lot of specials over there. Also, remember to tip your bartenders and come back after the game. All right, let's do our BetStamp.app predictions. Unfortunately, Vinny Parisi did not give me his predictions. So, again, I'm going to do all the predictions for him. I think Vinny is very optimistic about the New Jersey Devils and maybe a little too enthusiastic. So, I'll make up a score that he normally would say. He's going to say 8-0 Devils. Kira Schmid with a shutout. 8-0 Devils. Mark that down because I'll probably forget. And, through the BetStamp.app, you get the best. Oh, someone says 14-0. No, let's go 8-0. Let me get the football score because I'm going to say 7-3 Devils. 7-3 Devils. Touchdown and the field goal. That's what I say. 7-3 Devils. Vinny says 8-0 victory over Kira Schmid. You could say 2 field goals and a safety. And probably those that are watching and listening at American Whiskey that have never seen this fine programming called Game Day Live and Devils After Dark on the Let's Go Devils Network. Just a little inside joke of John Marino to Johnson, touchdown, Andre Johnson. Anyway, Supernova 68 says he's traveling back from New York. Ramona Rice, let me see your predictions, folks. Ramona Rice says, I'm hoping 4-2 Devils. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's going to be funny if John Marino scores tonight. Going solo, presumably, if Winston, his appointment at the vet with Scotty, a SiriusXM liquid metal, goes a little into overtime, suddenly you may get a dozen versions of football calls. If John Marino or Andreas Johnson score, get on the score sheet. You never know. Could it be? Could it be one of those nights? I don't know. But this is what I do know. It's almost game time, folks. Devils take on the Stars tonight. Should be a good hockey game. Hopefully we'll be celebrating after the game. It's a Happy Devils Tuesday. I want to thank all those on YouTube Live. And again, thank you to Nick the Goat and Dave Singer for their generosity and everybody commenting in the YouTube Live. Dave Singer. Again, thank you. Also, Steve Engel. Another note, you could always withdraw early from your retirement fund right now and give me a super sticker. But anyway, none of the financial advice I'm telling you is, I was just kidding around. All right, well, Dave Singer, I love this group, LGD. Yeah, we love you all. Trust me, we love you all. And, again, the community is growing, and it's showing in numbers at these live events lately, and we couldn't be more happy about that. It means a lot to us. Trust me. We hear you. We're Devils fans, too. It started off as 3 Devils fans at a bar. And that's where we hang out. All right. Again, thank all those watching, tuning in, the podcast. Remember, Devils After Dark after the game. Keep it here. Keep it real, folks. Because it should be a good one. Oop, that's the wrong soundtrack. I'm an idiot. Excuse me. Well, see you after the game. Looking forward to it. Devils After Dark after the game. Till next time, let's go Devils.